So have you two seen the last episode of season 13?
No.
Yes.
I'm 1 week behind, so...
Okay, alright, so we won't give spoilers away. Don't go and look at Ian's timeline if you don't want to be spoiled on the way.
Whenever I don't want to have something spoiled, I just don't talk to Ian, because God bless him, I love Ian, but when he gets excited, he can't help it. And I end up having things spoiled on me.
Alright, so I won't, we won't divulge into the ending, but I realised we haven't actually spoken about season 13 at all.
Spoiler alert, Judy Love didn't win the whole series.
No, she did not. God bless her. So... I just to kind of give like an overview, this is the first season back where they had an audience and, kind of in a sort of post-COVID world, if you want now. And I was really amped up for that because it was also the first season that I came into where I'd fully caught up with everything. And, I was fully like up to board with the prior 12 seasons and I could, watch in real time. And for a start, I love the fact that they're, once a week. It's not an content dump like a Netflix sort of thing. I do like having that one episode per week. It's just, it works for this format. So I was really happy to have that. I was most curious by the fact that I really didn't have any reference for the contestants outside of obviously Ardal O'Hanlon. I hadn't even heard of Bridget Christie or Sophie Duker or Chris Ramsey, and I think I vaguely knew of Judy Love. But outside of that,
Judy Love had been on the most recent Big Fat Quiz of the Year, which is the main exposure I had to her.
Yeah, like outside of that, I knew nothing about them. And one of the big things about Taskmaster is obviously the tasks themselves, but it is the dynamic between the contestants in the studio, but then obviously how they approach the tasks as well. And I did find that, like, none of them really went too far out of the box in terms of finding, in unique ways to approach tasks, other than when Bridget Christie just didn't understand what the task was and just lost her fucking mind.
I would say that the two exceptions were, occasionally Bridget Christie just did her own thing, and Ardal O'Hanlon got weird a couple of times with his...
He did. But I really did enjoy like the studio banter much more than the last couple of seasons, and I don't know if it's just the chemistry or it's the fact that there was an audience back, but you got like a lot of kind of good stuff. Ardal O'Hanlon would have like his occasional like dar joke, but it kind of fit, and there was like a dynamic between him and Duker in particular that I really enjoyed. And overall, I think this is a really strong season, and I found the COVID seasons a bit of a struggle to get through. Certainly the first season with like
first
Vegas.
one,
I didn't really enjoy that, but they got better, and I did enjoy last season though.
Was that the one with Catherine Parkinson on it as well?
Yes.
So the best part of that whole season was the outtake bit about how they caught someone farting during one of the tasks, and it turned out to be Catherine Parkinson. Have you seen this clip?
I have not seen that clip, no.
It's incredible. It's do you know the one they did, the task they did where they're in the warehouse and they have to find the different numbered lockers?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a clip of Catherine Parkinson getting scared, and then you just hear like a real squeaker of a fart come out, and she's just like, because she was swearing up and down it wasn't her, because Greg was like, one of you, and then when it was her, she's like, no. It was very good.
Which isn't even the funniest Taskmaster incident involving the fart.
No, that honor goes to Mike Wozniak. Because he gave us
absolute casserole down there.
Yeah, which has become a phrase I have integrated into life, where I can possibly. I
don't know what's funnier is that phrase or shouting at a stuffed animal that it has no chutzpah. It's just a glorious line. But yeah, like you were saying, Mark, about the chemistry, I think it seemed like five people who genuinely enjoyed each other's company this time around. There was like a real diversity of personalities, I think, and probably comedic styles, and like a definite like broad age range of all the people on the show. But they just always seemed to be rooting for each other. There was no weirdness and arguments. There was no Ian Sterling like beef. Just, there was no negativity. No one seemed to get pissed off.
Well, I mean, like, Chris Ramsey is the most positive man I've seen on television in quite some time. And
no way.
A combination of that and like Judy Love's like insistence,
just Judy Love,
just her like bullshitting abilities, which are on another level, right? It just, you could see Chris just fully engaged the whole time, and you really kind of on the point there about just they were sort of all encouraging each other.
Yeah.
I love that the first thing Greg did, the very first prize task, the very first episode of this series, like Judy finished her spiel about whatever item was, I can't actually remember, and he just turned to Alex and he's like, write this down, Judy Love, exceptional bullshitter. And her face just turned because she was like, oh, I'm not getting away with any of this stuff with Greg, but she carried on anyway.
I think that like during there's very few people who have been on Taskmaster that I've got the impression, they absolutely don't want to be here. I think during the pandemic seasons, what I got more of wasn't we don't want to be here, more that we're disappointed we're here now while things aren't the way they could be. The only person I used to get vibes off of that, like, I don't think they're enjoying themselves here, is somebody who actually ended up winning a season in the end, in Lisa Tarbuck.
Yeah. Yeah, she really, I mean, her ability to just completely give up on a task.
Yeah. she seemed to enjoy and get along with Greg. Personally, and if it was just like a Greg interviewing her show, she would have enjoyed it. But like, yeah, like I said, when she was doing the task, she's kind of like, nah, fuck this, and yet still won.
Yeah, that season could get a bit rough, but then they rebound. Like, we actually started watching season 7 just because like Maria's massively into James Acaster at the moment.
Oh my god!
And he's on another level with that.
Season 7 might be in the conversation for the greatest season of Taskmaster.
Two of the greatest like interpersonal like, I don't know if you want to call them beefs, but James Acaster and Rod Gilbert interacting was tremendous. And similarly then in season 9, Ed Gamble and David Baddiel.
Yeah.
Like culminating in that,
Ed Gamble just chose violence.
Culminating in that draw on someone's back live task, where Ed was just screaming at him. But I'm happy as well.
My explanation in that section of like Greg just going, look, the other team have 3 people to pass a message across, and to even it out, we've given you David Baddiel, and his face was still unhappy.
I am looking forward to, so season 13 was great. I'm looking forward to something that we were denied during the pandemic because of timing. Next week on Channel 4, we're getting our second Tournament of Champions episode, which is going to feature Ed Gamble is returning, Lou Sanders is returning, Kerry Godliman, Bosch, is back.
Oh, I love Kerry Godliman so much. I think Kerry Godliman actually is one of my favourite contestants ever. She's so
the Bosch,
great.
Isn't it?
But I just love that everything she did was the most Route 1 way of solving the task, and she ran away with the series.
Yeah.
Because the series before her...
Did I say Lou Sanders is back as well? I love Lou Sanders.
Yeah.
She was my least favourite winner of this show by a considerable distance.
Really? I love Lou Sanders.
No, I just found it. I think I just found everyone on that season by the end of it kind of annoying, and I just wanted it to be over.
Also, somebody who won the first pandemic season, who I love, but obviously it was pandemic season, so he wasn't as good as he could have been. Richard Herring is going to be back. So
Herring is class, yeah. Yeah.
Are we both, I can't remember if I got you into it in the end, Jack, but are we both big fans of Rahul Estapa?
Yeah. It's very
Richard
good.
Herring Leicester Square Theatre podcast.
I have his book as well. We've covered on the podcast.
Yeah. Mark, if you were to ever try out the Richard Herring Leicester Square Theatre podcast, listen to the 2 episodes with Greg Davies on them. They'll get you in.
That seems a reasonable request.
I would like to think that the amount of just unashamed lobbying he did in the Greg episodes, and when he had Alex on as well, is what got him on the show. It's like both times he had them both on, and he's just like, haven't had me on the fucking show yet, lads.